What's up, guys? So I just got back to my apartment earlier today, and I want to talk about my experience in this whole emergency apocalyptic situation with the LA fires. I got back earlier today from evacuating for 4 days, and it's a very weird experience to have to go through something like this because half of the city just is in they're living their normal life. They're going to work, they're waking up, they're not being exposed to really much any of it, but they're seeing it on their phone maybe and hearing it from their neighbors, and they may have friends that live closer to that area. And then you have people that live next to the actual fires, who are being asked to evacuate or who are feeling, experiencing anxiety, worry, fear because every day they're checking and this evacuation zone is getting closer and closer and closer, but they're still not being asked to evacuate. You know what I mean? And what do? Do you just stay because you have rent, you have bills, you have things you have to pay for, or do you like prioritize, your life or the possibility of like the power grid going out, or I don't know, the wind bringing the fire closer to you, or mass panic or anything. Your mind goes to so many different things in a state of emergency like this, in an uncomfortable situation. There were towns that lost light, power. You know what I'm saying? Like water, like all throughout. So it's just like, you know, on these apps where you can see your home and the zone that you're in, and if you're safe or if you're not, if you should evacuate. It's just like you don't know what to do until you go through a situation like this. You don't know. And I want to share my experience because I've learned a lot about kind of who I am and more of my purpose and just like life, like the meaning of life through this entire situation. And I want to share with you guys what I actually packed because I never, it's crazy. Like when you have to really consider the possibility of like, yo, maybe your house could burn down and you could lose everything. Like, what do I bring? What do I bring? So this is what I packed. I packed, my book bag and my luggage. It's like a small, medium-sized luggage, 4 or 5 shirts, 4 or 5, like sweatpants, like not jeans, but like just like cargo-like pants, 2 pair of shoes, and they were like kind of like sportswear type shoes in case I have to walk around a lot. And yeah, and in my bag right here, I opened it for the first time just like not too long ago after being in my house and like spraying my house down to like clarify the air, and it smelled like burnt marshmallows. So just to give you guys a feeling of like what it may smell like outside. So this is really all that I packed. This is what I packed. My journals for the past 4 or 5 years of my life. This is what I packed. Because I said to myself, like, what matters the most to me? Like, and I had some pictures of like some family, I had some books that I bought, some awards, some gift cards. The only thing I packed was my journals. Because I'm like, nothing else, like you can get it back, you know what I mean? And just like, look guys, like some more journals, of just like, like my life. This is all I packed. Like, because I just and my one favorite book to just buy time, just pass by time. I also packed, I had this sitting around, this like old cigar bag, but inside was like some matches and case, some lighters, and like a cigar knife. I just thought that this could come in handy. You know, it's always good to have some kind of knife or tool on you, you know. And yeah, like that's what I packed, you know what I'm saying? And yeah. And the reason I want to share that is because it's like it really showed me a lot about, it just really showed me like what matters. And like in a situation like that, you can't get anywhere in 3 bags, you know what I'm saying? You can't have a whole lot of stuff. They always tell you pack light, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know until you go through something and you're like, wow, like I could only bring a limited amount of stuff. What if I'm left on foot? I can't carry all this stuff. And yeah, you know, I'm sorry guys, like it's been very it's been a very like hard week emotionally. Anxiety's been through the roof. I've never really like experienced something like this. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Like not only was I, you know, trying a lot of things up until this evacuation point, and like nothing in my business was working. I lost clients. One of my clients lost their mother, and they needed time away. So it was just like the income that I had right before this evacuation was just going lower and lower and lower and lower. And I was trying something, and then right when it started working, or right when I got all of the pieces in place, I like had to evacuate with my friend, you know, and my friend, she lived closer to the fires, closer to Calabasas area, and they were the first ones to see smoke and get exposed. And she called me the day before we actually left, saying that she can see smoke, and you know, some of her neighbors are just leaving, and she didn't know what to do. She has pets. And I want you guys to really understand, right? I don't know if I said this already, but like Los Angeles, people who come here, we're transplants. We come here all on our own, you know what I mean? And we try to make our dreams happen. So many of us don't have any, you know, friends or family. You know, we don't have an abundant amount of people to reach out to in a time like this, you know, and you don't want to be a burden to anybody, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so she calls me and she's just like, Jeff, like my light's starting to go off in the house, you know, like where am I supposed to go? Like what am I supposed to do? Like there's a fire here. Like I could lose all my stuff. And she has pets and she doesn't know where to go. And I'm like, hey, like you could come here. And I try to ask her to start packing up, and she's just like, you know, she's just kind of, even though she could see the smoke and she has some neighbors who were leaving, some neighbors who were staying, like she didn't know what to do. It was hard for her to just start packing. And logically, right, you start thinking, well, like, come on, you know, like try to, you know, just grab some stuff and pack. But it didn't register to me what she was experiencing until I experienced it that next day, because when it was time for me to pack, like I didn't know what to pack. It was taking me a while because I was kind of frozen. I'm like, what do I need? Like, what do I grab? Like, what's important right now? And so that really opened my eyes. That next morning, I couldn't sleep that whole night. I felt off that entire night, and I was worried about her. And all of the media was saying that, you know, she's okay and she's far away and all this stuff. But then that morning, she was asked to evacuate. All of her neighbors are leaving their cars. The only one highway to like go from there here is like blocked off. And that's the Malibu Palisades one that everyone was seeing online. And she's like freaking out, and I'm trying to get her to calm down. And I'm just like, hey, like just pack what you think is important. You know, get your pets, get a few clothes. You know, just get here. Just get here. And she gets here in a few hours. And in my head, I'm thinking that like we're fine. Like let's just wait for this all to boil over. We'll be okay. And that's kind of not like, that's not entirely like what happened, you know? So she got here, and I still had some work that I had to do because I was trying to catch up from some of the clients I had like lost and everything like that. So I was doing some work. I come back to my apartment building, and I see the helicopter like flying over my house. One of my neighbors was on the phone with their family saying that like the fire has spread to the Hollywood Hills. That's like not so far from me. And I come to my apartment building, and they have a written kind of like notice on the elevator saying don't use the elevator. And my building is like mainly electronic. So if we were to lose our power, God forbid, like how my friend lost power in her house, if you don't have your phone, it would like, even with the phone, like if we were to lose power, we can't use the elevator, we can't even use the stairs, because the box, there's a code to each floor that's electrical. So my mind is going off like, yo, like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? And I get in, and she's like she's in a bit of a panic and anxiety state. And I'm just trying to keep her calm, you know? I'm just like, hey, I'm trying to move off of my intuition. I feel like we should be okay. But as I'm sharing that, like the police sirens are going off, the ambulances is going off. We can hear the helicopter right above us. It's like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Like, are we supposed to wait for them to just issue us an evacuation zone? Like, that doesn't make any damn sense. Like, Los Angeles on a normal day has terrible traffic. Imagine if they were to send an evacuation order. The traffic would be stuck. That's how you start to think in a situation like this. You're like, oh shit, like, hold on, like, we got to get out of here. And she's just trying to ask her friends on where to go, because again, like, everyone always says, oh, be prepared and have a route and know where to go. No, but when shit hits the fan, you don't know where to go. When shit hits the fan, 95% of people don't have that information. They don't know. They don't know where to go. They don't have a second house. They don't have that. They rely on their friends and stuff. My friends were living in downtown. I didn't want to go to downtown. So I'm trying to keep her calm. And I have pets and she have pets. And we put it in her car and put all of our stuff there, and she's just like freaking out because we're just trying to get out of here, because like half of my neighbors are starting to leave. And I'm just like trying to keep her calm, and like, man, like, man. So I get us to kind of relax, and I'm looking at this map on the app that they told us to use to see all of the fires, and I'm like, hey, let's get way out of this area. I don't want to go down to the city. And we went towards like Ventura County. We drove like 2 hours out that way, and every single hotel we called was booked up. Everyone from Palisades and Malibu booked the hotels that way. We were grateful to find like a motel room that was going for like $90 per night, and that's where we stayed for the past 4 nights. That's where we stayed. That's where we stayed. And I don't know what was worse, like, checking the app daily or seeing social media and seeing, people talk about the smoke and, what they're seeing, and just, we didn't know what to do with ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the possibility of like, she really had the possibility of like losing her house, and I'm in my head where like, my income is just going lower and lower and lower. And I haven't met with my clients. I'm just like in my head, like, you just start to think like, I need to make a change. Like if this were to hit the fan again, like I can't, you start to think further out in the future. And yeah, man, I just wanted to share this experience. I just got back today, and like life feels like normal. Like still, not all of my neighbors are back. The air quality sucks. I've got a spray from my house to like, purify the air. I'm wearing a mask when I go outside, but it's like life has to continue, but it's just, not everyone knows how this feels. And that's the hard, that I want to say is the most frustrating part about it, because it's like, it felt so apocalyptic and unreal. And, I'm driving out, and then half of Los Angeles, where some of my friends are just like chilling. And I'm just like, And although I was away for the time that I was, and I was, out there, I couldn't help but say to myself, like, damn, like, I wish I had more skills so I can help more people. I wish I had more resources so I can help, the firefighters and help people. And I wish I was maybe a firefighter on the front line, or I wish I was some kind of serviceman just trying to, be that leader.